Next, sa eukaryotic cells, we also have mitochondrion and chloroplast. And these two parts are actually the organelles that convert energy into various forms that cells can use to function properly or to work. Sila yung dalawang organs na nagko-convert ng energy. So start natin yung discussion with the mitochondrion. So mitochondrion, this is actually the most famous organelle of the cell. So tinatawag natin siyang powerhouse of the cell. So bakit siya tinatawag na powerhouse of the cell? Before that, mitochondrion has actually a double membrane. So meron siyang outer membrane and inner membrane. So katulad siya ng nuclear membrane na double membrane. Then, yung mitochondrion natin, siya yung major site ng cellular respiration. So cellular respiration is where the sugar is converted into carbon dioxide and water. And along with the process of cellular respiration, energy is released. So ano yung energy na yon? Yung energy currency ng cell is adenosine triphosphate or ATP. Actually, some cells, isa lang yung mitochondrion nila. Pero yung ibang cells naman, marami silang mitochondria sa loob ng cell. So, depende kung saan kailangan ng energy, doon mas maraming mitochondria. Okay? Hindi lang naman sugar yung ginagamit sa paggawa ng energy, pwede rin yung fats or other sources of energy. Yung mitochondria natin, actually, meron din siyang DNA and ribosomes. So, in this way, parang independent na nagwo-work yung mitochondrion. Next, we have the chloroplast sa plant cells. So, chloroplast is also a double membrane just like the nuclear membrane and the mitochondrion. So, meron siya outer membrane and inner membrane. Kung yung mitochondrion site siya ng cellular respiration, yung chloroplast natin ay site ng photosynthesis sa plants. Photosynthesis is the process where sunlight or light energy is converted into sugar, which is a form of chemical energy. Katulad ng mitochondrion, yung chloroplast natin, meron din siyang ribosomes and chloroplast DNA. So makikita natin dito na para silang nakastack. So yung each na stack is called thylakoids and yung collection is called granum. And yung parang cytoplasm niya is called the stroma. Next, we have the centriole. So ano tong centriole? Centriole is actually found particularly in animal cells. Kailan ginagamit yung centriole and kailan siya mahalaga? During cell division, alam naman natin na nagdi-divide yung ating mga cells and yung mga centrioles natin, they help organize yung mitotic spindle. It is a structure na nagsiseparate sa chromosomes natin during mitosis. And yung mga centrioles natin, nag-replicate sila and nag-move towards the opposite poles of the cell kapag nagdi-divide na sila. And ayun, yung function talaga nila is they organize mitotic spindle which separates chromosomes during mitosis. So yung centrioles natin, usually mahanap sila as pairs. So yung isang pair ng centrioles ay tinatawag na centrosome. So the centrioles are actually arranged in a ring with 9 microtubules. Okay? So pag binilang nyo to, meron siyang 9 na microtubules na naka-arrange as a ring. So again, yung pair ng centrioles, dalawang centrioles, ay tinatawag na centrosome. So nadaanan na natin yung iba't ibang inner components ng cell. Doon naman tayo sa external na components ng cell. So ito actually yung last two parts na i-discuss natin sa parts of the cell. So we have the plasma membrane and the cell wall. We have the cell wall. So the cell wall is the extracellular structure of cells and importante siya sa plants particularly kasi nag-rely yung plant cells sa turgor pressure para ma-maintain yung structure nila. And yung cell wall yung tumutulong para masuportahan yung shape niya and for protection na din. So the cell wall in plants is actually made up of cellulose and pectin. There is also cell wall in bacterial cells and their cell wall is made up of peptidoglycan and meron ding cell wall sa fungi and sa chitin naman gawa yung cell wall nila. Again, cell wall functions for structural support and protection and Sa plant cell natin, kapag bata pa lang sila, nagsisecrete sila ng primary cell wall na tinatawag and nag-a-add sila ng secondary cell wall upon maturity. So makikita natin dito na yung primary cell walls natin, yung red, kapag young plant cell, primary cell wall yung sinesecrete nila. And eventually, kapag nagmamature yung cell, kapag nagiging woody na siya, nagsesecrete siya ng secondary cell wall na mas makapal. Yung primary cell wall natin, manipis lang and flexible, pero yung secondary cell wall, matigas siya. And yung middle lamella naman, ito yung parang glue na made up of pectin para mas maging solid or mas maging stable pa yung cell wall for the plant cell. So we complete our tour of the cell with the plasma membrane. So plasma membrane, nag-discuss natin sa previous video na it is a phospholipid bilayer and it exhibits selective permeability which allows some molecules to pass through in and out of the cell easily. And saan gawa yung plasma membrane natin? Gawa sila sa lipids and proteins. Although meron ding carbohydrates na makikita sa plasma membrane natin. And the type of lipid na abundant sa membrane is phospholipids. Okay? Phospholipids yung tawag. Again, yung plasma membrane natin, it is the boundary that separates the living cell from the external environment. And selective permeability, yung characteristic niya, which means that there are molecules that can easily pass through the membrane, but some molecules cannot easily pass through the membrane. For example, the nonpolar molecules, for example, carbon dioxide and oxygen, kaya nilang mag-pass through rapidly sa membrane. While yung mga polar or hydrophilic molecules, for example, sugar and water, hindi sila makakapag-pass through the membrane easily. And kailangan nila ng mga channel protein or mga transport protein para maka-travel sila in and out of the cell. And bakit tinatawag na bilayer? Bilayer siya kasi composed siya ng dalawang set ng lipid layers. So meron siyang polar head. So ito yung nakaharap sa labas ng cell and sa loob ng cell. And yung nasa loob naman is yung non-polar tails. Kaya tinatawag din na amphipathic yung lipid bilayer kasi meron siyang non-polar tails and polar heads. So that's it for the 11 parts of the cell. And I would like to end this discussion saying na the cell is a living unit that is greater than the sum of its parts. So nakita naman natin na meron kanya-kanyang roles, functions, yung ating mga cell parts to ensure na magfa-function properly yung cell eventually up to the living organism. Thank you for listening and see you in our next video.